Good evening. I'm Seema Iyer in for Ashleigh Banfield. It's 6 o'clock in the East, and these are your headlines. Sarah Palin's oldest son, Track, he's been released from police custody after assaulting his father, breaking into the home and beating him after he was denied use of the truck. We've got Track Palin's ex-girlfriend joining us live at 7. You don't want to miss that. And the Senate is debating right now as we speak on the final version of the GOP tax bill. This version, it cuts taxes across the board, but especially for companies. It's expected to pass after a House revote tomorrow, right before it heads to President Trump's desk. And we are learning more about the Amtrak train derailment that killed at least 3 and injured over 100 people in Washington state yesterday morning. A former Today Show production assistant saying Matt Lauer turned a lunch meeting about career advice into a month of casual sex at, wait for it, the workplace. Even using that infamous button we're all hearing about that allowed him to lock his office door without leaving his desk. So my question is now, she's planning to leave the show. She's not staying with NBC. Why have sex in the very romantic location of a lavatory?
She says that she really wanted to hear from him that he cared about her as a person.
So, Allie, let me tell you, for the last 20 years, I have worked arraignments in the courthouse. And for 20 years, the courthouse is flooded with domestic disputes. People walking in with stuffing and turkey all over their bodies, fighting with their wives, fighting with their kids, alcohol's involved. Is this what happened here?
At this point, we don't really have a clear indication of motive. We don't know if, alcohol was a factor or anything.
8 years old, 13 surgeries, and 323 trips to the hospital. That's what police and Child Protective Services are reportedly saying little Christopher Crawford went through.
So here's a long road ahead of him, and I hate that he had to go through that. I hate it. I hate it so much.
Is there anything worse than watching a dad cry? I don't think so. I have to be honest. I'm from India. In India, cousins marry each other a lot. I'm telling you the truth. Okay. I know. This is my culture. All right. And I'm sure my mother is like, yeah, well, your cousins marry each other. What's the big deal? So maybe that mother felt the same way. Why are we going to prevent this love from happening, even though he's wanted in 8 jurisdictions, even though he
committed manslaughter previously, even though she's only 14.
Listen, Jonna, it's love. Don't fight love. Why do people in this country watch Law and Order, right? Everybody watches Law and Order. Nothing good ever comes from talking to the cops.
You can only talk yourself into trouble.
Thank you. Another one.
Another one. That's high 10.
But I'm saying it's just very important that people understand this is our constitutional right to not make statements that are going to hurt us.
This is an isolated incident where he was holding his daughter hostage from the police officers at this particular time.
Hey, Eric.
Yes.
You just said that he's holding her hostage. You can't hold people hostage, whether it's your kids or someone else's kids. Trust me, my mother would have held me hostage for the first 20 years of my life if she could have.
Well, that is true. That is true, but there are numerous circumstances where police officers have been involved in violent crimes and the perpetrator not wound up dead.
Doesn't Santa Claus just make it look so easy sliding down the chimney to deliver goodies on Christmas Eve? It's really no surprise that someone would try the same trick to help themselves to goodies that don't belong to them. Only it didn't work out so well. Police say Jesse Boorabee got stuck when he climbed down the chimney in an attempt to enter a local business after hours. But he got stuck, real stuck. Like he couldn't move up and he couldn't move down. So you can see him wedged down in there. He did what any of us would do, though. He needed help, right? So he called 911. And the Sacramento Fire Department rescued him. And then the Sacramento Police Department, they booked him for burglary. Good on you. Good evening, everyone. I'm Seema Iyer in for Ashleigh Banfield. Welcome to the second hour of Crime and Justice. Tonight, one of the Palins is forbidden from speaking to his family. 28-year-old Track Palin, Sarah Palin's oldest son, was arrested on Saturday after attacking his dad, Todd, at home. Track Palin's ex-girlfriend joining me exclusively. Jordan Lowe, thank you so much for being here. Was that the first time he physically assaulted you?
It's not, no. It's just the first time that I called the police.
So how many times did he assault you prior to the first time you called the police?
I don't have an exact count, but I would say more than 10.
Oh, my God. So it took a long time and many, may I say, beatings to some extent for you to call the police. And did you suffer through injuries? Did people see you injured at the hands of Track Palin?
They did. I was scared and I was embarrassed, so I did a lot to cover things up.